Well, my name is Andy, and it's sort of like an explosion kind of thing. But if you like comic books, like the Kirby Dot, where Kirby Dot's arm, which was just a way of like energy in the 70s. Then there's some of that out there, there's actually text out there. Basically, everything that can fit in 3 inches my bridge.
Next, I can't. You have to draw everybody.
Maybe I'll give a talk on that and I'll just.
The entire generation.
Yeah, so let me understand, are you the frame that matches the energy, or are you the energy that's matching your energy?
I mean, that's the crazy tip. What do you think?
It's a matter of just ask me after.
Okay, right.
Very disappointed in mine.
Well, no, you got an axe on yours and everything. You spent the time to draw it. So I want to kudos to anybody who drew their name tag. So I appreciate that. That's it. And the people who had their last name, that's I'm not quite on the last name basis yet. We're on the first name. So I guess I'll go right ahead and start. Hello, everybody. My name is Anthony Banks, and making games good, fast, and cheap. There was no way to strike through good in the title, but I just want to appreciate that this talk itself is a reflection of that philosophy. It's going to be fast and cheap if you're not good. I know. You should go up and go.
It's already pretty good.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about how like little tips and tricks on creating your own video game. Because this year I created the first one a couple times from scratch, and it all started with this right here. I have 2 sons, and my oldest one loves Roblox. But the kids love the Roblox. It's a fantastic, like a huge gaming platform. You play a bunch of games. Kids can like make games, modify games on it. So it's a huge community. It's crazy, iconic. It really is. It's really interesting. But he loves a tower defense. Tower defense simulator. If you don't know what that is, that means you got bad guys coming from point A. They're trying to get to point B, and you have to put stuff in between A and B to stop. So in this case, you've got big bad monsters, you've got a little path that they fall, you've got little towers that you can and stop them. If you ever played Plants vs. Zombies, it has tower defense. I haven't played very many, so this whole thing was an education for me because my son is a nerd, like me, but in the best possible way. He likes to draw, he likes to computer stuff, he likes to go game stuff. He's like, Dad, I like this game, would you like to make a game of it? And I said, of course, I would love to make a game with you because I am an artist and designer, and so this is all my wheelhouse, of course I want to do that. But I've never made a game before. I don't know how you do it. And so I thought, okay, well, I have to start from scratch. So how to do that. And so, maybe I should do this. So, like, art, I got a lot of art skills. So, nothing for me. I used to kind of do websites a little bit, but just barely. So, when I see a page of like a mark of a code text, that just freaks me out. But I'm also, it's like not my first emotion. But then design, and there's actually a lot of different disciplines that go into games, but I wanted to point out design because actual game design, what are the mechanics? Why is this fun? How does it do? What are the turns? All these different things that have an entire discipline. There's books written about this on card games, video games, everything's entire discipline. I played games, which is why I gave myself that established right now. But I very quickly learned that I don't like gaming. But fortunately, around the same time that I was struggling with this, and I was going to make a game by the end of the year, the YouTube algorithm smiled on this person. His name is Thor. He runs he's a streamer. He runs a company called Pirate Software. He's a indie game dev. This guy streams 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And he's developing his own game live and talking to people recently. But he's very personal and very funny. But a lot of YouTube shorts. That's how I got introduced to it. The whole Discord, and Twitch, and all of Twitch streaming. I hadn't heard about it before that. But that was a great gateway into that entire. I had very cool info. So what the board does twice a year is something called video game trip. I don't know what that is, but that is you give people a small amount of time, whether that's hours or days or weeks or months even. You say, okay, here are the constraints, time-wise. Maybe there's a theme that you will meet. Here's the platform you have to be on. Here's the things that people need to be. Here's the things that cannot be. Now, no one can. You can either make it by yourself. You can make it for a small group of people. There's a lot of flexibility in there, but some constraints. And if you ever try to make something and have a lot of options, constraints are wonderful. I don't need all the options in the world. I don't need all the time in the world because that's a great topic. Constraints are lovely. So in this case, it was 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. You can have a team of up to 5 people maybe solo. And there are a couple of the criteria that you have to work with. And you go. So what was helpful with those constraints, with my own constraints, as somebody who has more of a creative side and also a coding side, that helped make a lot of decisions. So as you start to dip your toe in the video game design, you quickly figure out there's a bunch of game engines. So that's the thing, like, how do I take my art and I turn it into a game? I'm like, how am I trying to make it do stuff? I don't know, but there's like hundreds of game engines out there. And depending on your interest, your strength, the type of games you're making, suddenly those options start to build out. So it's like, I kind of know. So I can't learn C# or name a programming. I can't learn how to do that in 2 weeks because also my first time as a solo, I had to go to art, story. I have to figure out what kind of game mechanics work. Blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks goes by very fast. So. All those constraints, I face Monster alone, just trying to tackle this project all by myself. But with constraints, then I committed to doing something, to getting something published like Gator Tools. That was my criteria for success. It didn't have to be the best game in the world, because it was going to be. It needed. I wanted to enjoy the process. I wanted to get it done. Just like going to the gym, doing something like that. I just need to do it again and again. So I kind of just felt that way. I take those skills, the lessons that I learned, back to my game. It's not to apply those. So ultimately, after looking at a bunch of engines and a couple missteps, I ended up using an engine called Redpine. Everybody knows about this. So you know what visual novels are, or I guess visual novel is there. So imagine, it's an embarrassing example, dating syndrome. So imagine your little person over the side, or the person you're trying to date is over the side, and there's dialogue. Every once in a while, there's an option. It's like, say yes, say no. So it's got a branch in the story that branches off. That's basically what. Right. So, but on the creation side, it kind of looks like a packet in the website, but a very simplified version where there's basically say, hey, at the top, here's my name, here's this person's name, here's this person's name. Here's a JPEG for this person, here's a JPEG for this person. JPEG is an image format. And every time, let's say Ryan talks, and I've got a Ryan picture, and I say Ryan, and I open up quotes, and I say Ryan says this, and then automatically, Ryan shows up there, his text shows up there, can't put a background image, fine, but it's very easy. That was my strength. So in a very short order, I was able to make a game that's not good. But even with that, so I could have just gone the visual novel route, I still wanted some kind of interactivity in there. So and it also has a ton of tutorials on it and sharing stuff. I actually managed to squeeze in basically a rock, paper, scissors game, and it just turns the whole game. That's it. It was basically rock, paper, scissors. So the theme for the game jam was it's sprinting. So I just came up with a game called The Sprint. And the story kind of loosely revolves around something in the city, and it sprints, and you're supposed to stop. So that's basically it. So that's how simple it is. Background image, that, text. And culminates in a rock, paper, scissors game where you fight this thing in your bedroom, and you win or you lose. It's very hard to lose, but you can't. Maybe it's random, maybe. But that was my first go around. I got it done on time. I think I submitted 30 minutes before the deadline, which is not a common one. I was waiting until the last minute. But it was because throughout this entire process, I worked so much as far as like, hey, starting with your grand vision. It's like, no. The entire time was like, whittle it down. What's nice to have, what's necessary. And I tell you what, the nice to have went away. The necessary was a lot shorter by the time it was all coming because I had like 4 levels, and a way to navigate between the levels. I had sketches, all these things gone. Absolutely gone. How did I get this thing out the door? But it was done. It was done in 2 weeks. I can say it was done. It was fantastic. It's about a nice set, but it was done. So here, Pirate Software has changed over the years, so I thought, do it again, right? Or let's try this. But this time, instead of being one person, I wanted to join a bunch. So what's fantastic is they have Discord and they have forums of people who are looking for routes that page it, whether it's this game jam, that jam. I thought I want the experience of working with a developer. And I really wanted somebody coming with like sound and music design. Anytime. And then maybe another or maybe something I don't know, but just for the experience of doing this the whole time. Yeah. So this time, there's a ton of game engines, and Godot was the game engine that our developer made the best. It's a open source, huge community, a lot of support. It's fantastic. And so our team consisted of an experienced staff that had that whole game design. There was me. There was another artist. It's fantastic. It's so nice to have the help. And accountability buddy, which was just things I wrote. And then we had a sound person who kind of came in and out a little bit, which some of you also learned through projects, is some people just vanish. Some people don't show up very. Some people are all doing this all the time, and it's a part of the process. It's not just a technical approach, it's creative, it's engagement and communication, all those kind of things. So we also had a floater. Some of you had no experience in anything. And they wanted to learn game design. And they were particularly interested in game development. So our developer was super. He basically mentored this person. Well, I don't know if they do it all. I could help out a little bit. Now, it definitely slowed our head down, but it was a learning experience for learning that. So before the game that we made for the game jam, we decided to make testing. Hey, can we work together? Let's work out the kinks. During that time, we lost the dev. So that was a good experience. No, that person's not going to be around. We can replace them with somebody else. So we came up with a beat 'em up game called Don't Drag It, Streets of Rage, something like that. Because it was supposed to be simple. We made it complicated. And so we had character designs and animations and spreadsheets. So basically, a lot of times when you animate a character, you just basically have all the different frames of all the different things they do, and then you just animate it. So if they rock, if they hit somebody, if they fall, if they take damage, everything they do, so very quickly you can see that adds up. And this is probably the stupidest decision I made the entire time, was to use something called frame-by-frame animation. It's very slow, it's very tedious, it's not good for game jams going to work. But I did. When this thing, test game, not surprisingly, the hard assets got done, but by the time it got to the point to really develop it, it was time to sort of reach. So I was okay, let's move on to other things. So then we ended up creating this game called Crucible. And so it was a top-down roguelike game. Roguelike is. Developer kind of had these systems in place like, hey, if you give me some bits of the map, then I can feed into this thing and it will spin up the map and it will just create endless levels. Except that by the end of the thing, that didn't work. And so I ended up having to like make all the levels manually, which was very, very tedious. So this game is actually available on itch.io. That's the place where a lot of our games go. It's janky. It's super bad because like when it loads, the loading graphic kind of loads in the corner of the screen, and then the game plays, and then the bad guys kind of like fall off on the screen, and then when you get to the second level, it just kind of stops working. And it's what you got submitted, you can play it, it's not perfect, but we're actually going to keep refining it just because it's a fun project. So yeah, so here's like, we called it, so I made first just source, and this was all supposed to be generated. Like it creates an asset, the algorithm does the rest. But in this case, it was taking me off. So I had to like manually create all those things. Yeah, so again, Pyron Software, if you have any interest in learning game design, you can go with zero experience. There's a team of people out there, even with no experience, and there's something that you want to win, but if you want exposure to it with no commitment of making something good, of maybe something that kind of works, and you want to just get those early reps in to do it, here's no excuse. There's no, oh, I don't know this software, ooh, I'm not good at drawing, all these different things. There's a place for you in game design. Yeah, so I'm going to be sharing some of the stuff that I'm working on with those games. I'm going to be sharing stuff that I'm working on with myself on his game, because I'm sure it's like watch share. So I'm ARG Mix everywhere. So does anyone have any questions about designer or reflection?
You want to talk more about, you said frame by frame animation is a terrible idea. You want to riff on that a little bit?
Sure. Okay. Well, so animation historically is a very slow process, very tedious process. So let's say, well, back in the old days, we had like a bunch of sheets of paper, and you would draw something on one sheet, you kind of flip them. You would draw something on another sheet, you kind of flip them. You draw, and then so you're slowly. So okay, let me put it this way. Show video stuff, like 30 frames per second is typical. That means if I was to start here, and in the span of a second, if I wanted to move here, that means there's 30 frames of me kind of doing this. And if I'm drawing me 30 frames for 1 second of animation, that's terrible. It's terrible use of time. No, they're more efficient. Which I didn't use. But there are games like Cuphead and even Streets of Rage and other things where their whole shtick is that this is frame by frame, looks really cool. It takes years and a team, like a crowd of people doing that to make an entire game. So if you're in a rush, that is the longest. You have time on your hands, you're going to make something. Well, it's Nor is great stuff. For sure.
Seems like awesome. How do you do that?
Yeah. So Thor's a quirky guy. He used to be at Blizzard for a long time. Things World of Warcraft and Starcraft, and all those things. His dad used to be the lead guy who would build the cinematics, those cool videos that introduce the games into the games. He was the lead guy who was there. So he kind of grew up at Blizzard, and he was at Blizzard for a long time. And Blizzard wasn't a great place to be after a while, so he bounced. And then he became a hacker with the government, like hacking power plants to make sure that their security was okay. But he finally came back to video game development. So now he went solo independent game studio. He runs a Fair Rescue where, he's a weird guy, but he's so good. It's very interesting. Yeah.
I'm super new to design. You mentioned Godot as a platform for game development, but what tools are you using for game art?
Oh, okay. So what you presented this on is Procreate. So I've been working a ton on. I kind of use Procreate. It's a fantastic drawing experience. I spent a lot of time there. I am starting to shift into a little bit with pixel art. So pixel art uses a program called Aseprite, A-E-S-P-R-I-T. So if you want to do sprite animation, stuff like that, it's in all of it. But there are also like a lot of animation tools within design tools within Godot. And I think that's the thing that I learned working with my team is that I would have known the capabilities of Godot a little bit better. Then maybe I could have done it a little bit differently. It would have just made things a little bit easier. Because if even during the art process, like how to create assets, and then help with them, and then you come back and say, hey, can you do this a different way? And I'll do it a different way. So there was a lot of that. It's fine because we actually had something to do. But if I had known what he needed, anticipated that a little bit more, in the United States of America.
Oh, I do have a question. I'm sorry. So you kind of touched on it there. How much, since you came into this new, how much did you find that you had to maybe adapt our process that you would have done otherwise? And like, if maybe surprising way for.
Oh, well, I tell you what, so for this game, the other artists suggested top down. I never drawn a lot of people from top. And it looks to make people a little different, like in your characters. It's very hard if you're just seeing the tops of their heads and their shoulders to differentiate people. But fortunately, this artist said, hey, go look at it and see this is approach. It's like, oh, because I had so many questions. But what I loved about it is now suddenly I only have to come up with one view versus front view, side view, back view, three-quarter view, all these different things which you can just your time under control. But if you're like, hey, if I just have to draw a head and shoulders with like a couple of arms and swing out like this, way easier.
You ever use the fresco?
Fresco, no, I do, but usually for vector stuff, so I want something to scale, like Fresco, I want. That's only like
It's not fresco or stuff, or does it matter?
I know there are plugins for like after some kind of use Photoshop. I feel like maybe technology wise, the cameras are still a little bit behind that way. But I don't know, but there are vector-ish looking graphics games which makes it very
Yeah, anything that's reading the armatures or.
Yes, yeah, so in the animation, again, like the slow way to do things is just kind of versus, yeah, setting up bones in there, and so in inverse kinematics is how we we have like a control handle here, got some bones here, so rather than me having to like move on like this, and move on like this, or this, if I have a connector here, like this, then this is sort of intuitively moves, saving a ton of time. Yeah, so Godot has those, but then there's a lot of other systems like After Effects, etc. Sure. All right. That's it.
That was awesome.
Yes,